A furious storm once roared across the sea, catching ships in its path, helpless to flee. Instead of a certain and watery doom, the wind swept them here to Typhoon Lagoon.
Hey, today we're doing a thing, and today's thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a history lesson on Typhoon Lagoon. Now, believe me when I say this, I have tried to do this video 4 times, and each time has been awful. It has been terrible. It's just not turned out right at all. And just before we start this video, as you can see, I have a new little bit of a setup going here with a boom mic stand, which I am very proud to say that is very dang handy. So it will be in this video, it will be in Saturday's video, it will not be in Thursday's video, the Q&A that I have coming out for reaching 100 subscribers, as that was previously recorded prior to having this. I do have a couple of things I want to bring to your attention beforehand. That I do have a Discord. You can feel free to check it out down below with the link in the description. You can come chat with me, other fanatics that enjoy my channel and my content, and you get first access to the videos as soon as they launch, so that's always a good thing. And there's playlists that I found for this relating to Typhoon Lagoon is the official Disney's Typhoon Lagoon playlist that they play. The music loop in the water park is in the description down below as well through Spotify. Feel free to go check that out. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna get into this. I've got some fun facts for you, some Disney legend lore, and it's gonna be a good episode, so I hope you enjoy. Now, getting into the fun facts, the first one for you, ladies and gentlemen, is that the poem at the beginning of this video is the official poem for the theme park, water theme park, in relation to summarizing the Disney lore that is embedded into Typhoon Lagoon. So we will look into that a little bit later on after we have gone through the fun facts. So we're going to carry on going ahead with these. The next fact I have for you is that it was opened on June the 1st, 1989 on none other than Lake Buena Vista Drive on Disney property. I am to assume that it was as popular as it was when it first opened way back in the day as it is today, for its theming, for its rides, for its whole ambience, I suppose is the word I'm looking for. It is very much a popular theme park in Disney alone, and pretty much in Florida as well. And it seems to be the popular of the two on Disney property, the other being Blizzard Beach, which we will get to go do a history lesson on later on, coming probably in the new year now. But Typhoon Lagoon seems to be the popular one of the two, and I can see why, with the theming and Miss Tilly, Mountain Mayday, the Leaning Palms Resort, and all of those iconic places in Typhoon Lagoon. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough to go to Typhoon Lagoon the first time I went to Walt Disney World, and I'm very highly disappointed in myself for not being able to go. But, however, I did go to Blizzard Beach, and I have to say, it was just as good in my opinion. Blizzard Beach was great, the rides were fantastic, the theming, again, because it's Disney, is phenomenal, impeccable, and down to a T, perfection. However, the next time I do go to Walt Disney World, I will be going to Typhoon Lagoon, and I am to assume that I will enjoy myself nonetheless, as I did at Blizzard Beach way back in the first time that I went. So, with that being said, we're going to move right along to the next fact, and that it is home to the world's largest outdoor wave pool, coming in at a whopping 27.5 million gallons of water. 27.5 million gallons of water is a astounding amount of water to have in one place. Now, for that to be have that award and that world's largest outdoor wave pool is just fantastic, and Disney know they have this, they know they planned it in there, and they use it well with the waves, and they use it in other ways which we will get to in this video as well. So moving right along to the next fact, let's see what we have. The official mascot for Typhoon Lagoon is Lagoona Gator. I will put a picture in here so you can see him, and if you have ever seen him, please let me know down in the comments below. I love to see or hear if you have ever seen him and what the interaction was like. I am to assume even, I cannot get my words out. Oh, what's going on? Okay. I am to assume that it is kind of like Figment at Epcot, where that is their official mascot for that said theme park or water park in this case. So he also is related to Blizzard Beach's mascot, which is Ice Gator, which again we will get to in another video based on Blizzard Beach history. But yes, they have their own official mascot. I haven't personally seen him. I think I have seen Ice Gator. I'm not too sure. Quite possibly. It could have been. I know I've seen something to resemble him. I don't know whether it was actually, him. But anyway, if you have ever seen Lagoona Gator, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. And we are going to move right along to the next fact. Okay, so this one may not be as fun as a fact of you, but as a huge fan of music, and especially of this kind of music as well, I just had to put it in here. The music loop used at Typhoon Lagoon is mainly 50s and 60s surfer rock music, which is kind of what you can hear in the background of this music if you listen closely when I am not yapping your ear off. Sorry about that. But yes, it is home to like the Beach Boys and all those classic bands back in the day that had all those surfer tracks, like Surfing USA, that's on there. There's so many on there, and you can go and check them out for yourself if you want to. I have the Spotify playlist in the description, so you can go and check that out, like I said at the beginning of this video. Well, close to the beginning, after the poem, before the intro, and then yeah, you get what I mean. It's okay. Man, I love this mic, dude. Mic is insane. I'm getting off track. Anyway, yes, home to 50s music, which is always good. But with that being said, we're going to move right along to the next fact. Okay, so since surfing is prohibited on Typhoon Lagoon property, however, it is not prohibited before the park opens and after the park closes. You and 24 other lovely people that you may or may not know have an instructor in the one and only wave pool that is the world's largest wave pool in the world. honing the magnificent whopping 27.5 million gallons of water. Yes, that number again. It is a magnificent number and probably my favourite number of this video. 27.5 million gallons of water. Yes. You have the chance to learn how to surf from a trained surfing instructor that works on Disney property. Now, you have the chance to go up and down over 100 times in an hour and a half, because the waves come and go every 90 seconds. So you get a chance to go up, go down the wave pool, and you have a chance to come all the way back up just in time for your go again. And yes, I would love to try that. So the next time I go to Typhoon Lagoon, I am possibly going to be trying that. I may record it. Let's not get our hopes up in the future. I don't know what I'm doing on Tuesday. I know what I'm doing for Saturday. Saturday's video, it's all planned up in here. Tuesday's video, however, I haven't the foggiest. We'll have to wait and see together. But with that being said, it is pretty darn cool that you can go and explore and go and surf at Typhoon Lagoon's wave pool. And with that, we're going to move on to the last and I find the most interesting fact of this whole episode. Okay, so prior to the park's opening of Typhoon Lagoon, Disney were considering making a movie based on the Disney legend, which we will get to after this. I find this so dang interesting that I think that with all the newer movies that they are doing now, for the Jungle Cruise they've done one, Tomorrowland they did one back in 2015 with George Clooney, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I have to admit, it was very, very good. Pirates of the Caribbean, mainly most of the rides are based off movies as well. You've got Dumbo, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, you know, all those classic rides in Magic Kingdom. And I think eventually they should make a movie for each ride, or possibly each theme park. Now, that's not up to me to say, but Disney, if you are watching this somehow, please, I'd love to see a movie of this, because as I was reading the Disney legend, I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. So it was so dang interesting to read. I loved reading it. I loved doing it, and I'm going to love reading it out for you in just a moment. But yes, they were going to make a movie, and the writer who was going to write this beautiful masterpiece that could still possibly happen was none other than Gary K. Wolfe, who was the writer for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and we all love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I personally, it has to be one of my favourite live action crossover animation films by far, except for Mary Poppins. That's number one, and that's a close second. But yes, that was possibly going to happen. Possibly still could do. We don't know what Disney have in hold for us in terms of movie wise. Let's hope so, hey Disney fanatics, let's hope so. So anyway, with that being said, it is now time to move on to the Disney Legend of Typhoon Lagoon. Are you ready? For as long as anyone could remember, the quaint thatch roof village had nestled along the shores of the sparkling lagoon, in the shadows of a great volcanic mountain. Then came the 20th century with its cruise ships and tourists, and the Placid Palms Resort, a special little place for lucky vacationers each year. The great storm, however, changed everything. A furious, unrelenting typhoon, catching a small fleet of ships by surprise, and tossing them about like boats for one terrifying hour. But in the storm's wake was left a remarkable scene. A surfboard had penetrated completely through a huge tree. A small boat had blown through the roof of one building. A great buoy had crashed through the roof of still another. The Placid Palms Resort was now the Leaning Palms, almost ready to topple over at any moment. A small harbour had been cut off from the sea, trapping an overturned boat and thousands of colourful fish, plus a few sharks along the way. Nothing, however, topped the sight of the shrimp boat, Miss Tilly, impaled precariously on the peak of the great volcanic mountain. To this day, the mountain tries vainly to dislodge its unwelcome burden, with an enormous geyser of water every 30 minutes. Well, what nature has done is a little redecorating. The inhabitants were left with a most extraordinary assortment of waterfalls, rapids, pools, surf, and all-around wetness the world has ever seen. The once sleepy resort has been turned into Typhoon Lagoon. So I have to say that I personally love this Disney Legends. It has to be my favourites that I've seen so far, and it has to be so well detailed that I have to say Disney went all out for this one, and they pretty much do for everything they do, but it's just so cool to see that they have even tried, because they don't have to, but they do. They can always give legends to something. I recently saw I was watching the Tim Tracker, and they did a Disney Springs tour, and even that has a backstory of it being changed from an old orange plantation mill, an old orange packaging mill, sorry. World of Disney doesn't need a backstory, but yet here we are, a store in Disney Springs has a backstory. So, personally, I love this. Let me know in your thoughts down in the comments below. If you love Typhoon Lagoon, if you have ever been, please let me know how it is. And what is your favourite ride at Typhoon Lagoon? And I know recently they've just gotten rid of swimming with the sharks. So please tell me as well if you have ever done that and how you enjoyed that experience, because I wasn't lucky enough to do it. I don't think I'm brave enough either. So let me know if you were brave enough to face the sharks. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and comment down below all the things that I have just said, because I'm not going to repeat them. It's too many things. I'm sure you'll remember, or you can rewind it to make sure that you're commenting the right thing. Also, be sure to subscribe if you have not done so already by pressing that big shiny red button and pressing that little ding-a-ling bell so you can stay up to date with all my new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. But until the next video, ladies and gentlemen, stay classy, YouTube!